Welcome everyone to another Jeff Herring Results Now webinar. This is Jeff, your host. And guess what? We're broadcasting live from our virtual studios 50 miles north of Atlanta, Georgia. And our topic today is Product Creation Live. Watch as I walk a student step by step through creating a best-selling information product. The reality, folks, is the big-time gurus, they've been lying to you. So come back with me to 2007. It's my first year online full-time. I'm listening to a preview call teleseminar about product creation. And they're telling us that it's going to take a year to develop the product. A couple of announcements of things coming up. Tonight at 7 o'clock tonight, my buddy Tony Ladig is hosting his 100th Expert Media Show. And he's having a bunch of us on there to celebrate with him. There's the link, jeffherring.com/Tony100. Tons of giveaways, including a MacBook Air and other cool stuff. So 7 p.m. tonight, join us there, and there's the link. And then Thursday, you guys have heard, tell me if you've heard about crowdfunding. Anybody out there hear about crowdfunding and that whole notion? Yeah, okay, good. I'm hosting one of the experts on it. Roberto, and I can't pronounce his last name off the top of my head. But anyway, there's the link, jeffherring.com/crowdfunding at 2 p.m. on Thursday. Write both of those down. jeffherring.com/Tony100, jeffherring.com/crowdfunding, and join us for these other events. Last time you get to write these down, just don't write down my whole name, just write JH because you know my name. /Tony100/crowdfunding. That makes it easy. All right. So I know there's a lot of people that are brand new, so why should you listen to me? Here's the bridge that took me from being a full-time marriage and family therapist in private practice to doing what I'm doing right now. Began to write this column for the local newspaper in 1994. So I've been using content to build my businesses since then. And it changed everything. Because what I quickly found out, and when you're able to demonstrate to folks on a regular basis with your content how you approach their problems and how you solve their problems, guess what? You no longer have to pursue clients. They pursue you. Write that down. When you can demonstrate on a regular basis how you approach and solve people's problems, clients, business pursues you. Speaking here at one of the NAMS, Novice to Advanced Marketing System workshops here in Atlanta. Here's my big four: Dan Kennedy, Lisa Sasovich, Alex Bondosian, Tom Antion. All folks that have been mentors to me in different ways or another, and now we're colleagues and friends who I've either done behind-the-scenes content marketing for, and or they use this stuff with themselves and their students. Now, you don't got to just believe me. Wasn't that nice? That wasn't one of those 30-minute, oh, how great am I? Just do what I do and you can be great too, long, boring, drawn-out things. Boom, it's done. We're over, okay? Now, you don't have to just take my word for it. Content marketing is king. This is by Entrepreneur Magazine online, talking about why content marketing, what product creation is part of, is the #1 preferred marketing tool for today's professional. So here's the big picture before we get down to the narrow focus of today. 5 simple steps to 6-figure success that work online in any niche. Content creation, unleashing your message and making a difference in the world. Being visible online with your content, getting found. From that, driving high-quality traffic, ideal clients, which you build a great list community. And when you take great care of them, they take great care of you. And our focus today, product creation. Cashing in on content by creating products, training, and resources that your community loves and invests in. So, with that big picture there, how many of you are flat out beginners, just getting started out? Because this is for you if you're a beginner, because you're going to learn how to do things the right way and not make the typical bad mistakes. If you've been doing this for a while and you're not making the income you know you could, I'm also glad you're here. Kenny is a beginner. Yep. All right, Kenny, thank you. And if you've been doing this for a while but you're not making the money you know you should, I'm glad you're here. Many of you shared as we were chatting before we started that you haven't even done your first product yet. I'm so glad you're here, because this is the place to be to learn how to do it right. Michelle says she's a number 2. Been doing this a while, not the income. Good. Let's create some products together. You guys are going to have a chance to join me in the course that shows you how to do that later. Okay. Now, many of you are experts here making a visit, and I appreciate you there. And you're like me. You look for a powerful edge. I always go to events to see if I can get one more thing, one little piece that's going to make things better. So, here's where we're going to go today. We're going to do a little bit of webinar wisdom, product creation mindset, 3 big product creation blunders, the power of product creation. And then we're going to do that Results Now mini workshop, product creation live. And then I'm going to give you a product creation genius strategy. It's so simple. All you got to do is show up and listen. Then I'm going to walk you through your next success steps, how to run with this and profit. And of course, like all my events, so much more. And my events, this one has a sponsor. The first sponsor is a profitable content creation course. Being consistently profitable in your online business with product creation. That means at the end of our show, there will be an offer. Now, I do not want you to invest in that offer. Seriously. Unless and until I deliver on all the promises I just made you. And I will come to you and ask you if I've delivered on all those promises. And then once I have, I am going to invite you to come on board with the profitable product creation course, so we can jumpstart you and get some money coming in. And as always, a second sponsor, one of the charities I support, Outnumber Hunger, helping feed local families. A percentage of everything that comes in today will go to help feed folks, which is a pretty cool thing to do. All right, so here's webinar wisdom. The secret is to go from a good idea for a product to money in the bank as quickly as possible. My whole goal since 2007, when I heard that first ridiculous claim it was going to take a year to make a product and it'll cost $2,000, was to get an idea and turn it into a product as quickly as possible. The first time I ever did that, back when I was a therapist, I did it in a day. It's a small little ebook. Other products take longer, but you want to go. Money loves speed to market, and so do your customers love speed to market. And I know there's a lot of you out there that have had an idea, haven't acted on it, or you've been working on it for years. I want to ramp that up for you, and not to throw junk out there, but to show you that you can do this rather quickly and go from idea to money in the bank pretty fast. So here's the mindset I want you to have about product creation. It's not about spending weeks, months, or years on a big crapshoot, not knowing exactly what people want and hoping they're going to want what you've fallen in love with. It is going from good idea to money in the bank as quickly as possible while serving your clients at the highest level. Okay? I'm going to say that again because I really, really want it to sink in for you. It's going from a good idea to money in the bank as quickly as possible while serving your clients at the highest level. That's the mindset I want you to carry through the rest of this show and the rest of your career. So let's talk about some of the mistakes people. This one I hear all the time. Believing you don't have an info product in you. Come on, we're just us here. Let me ask you in the Q&A. How many of you have ever thought that or actually believe that now? Believing you don't have an info product in you. Okay, thank you, B. Thank you, Lynn. Awesome. Well, let's change that. You know why? Because guess what? Do you have life experience? Then you have lots of info products inside you. You're good at something. You've gotten this far in life. You're good at something. Okay? Let's package it and turn it into something somebody will invest in to get their life better. Okay, blunder number 2. Believing it's too, and really fill in the blank, hard, expensive, long, tedious, complicated, blah, 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 whatever your excuse is. Fill in your own word, believing it's too something. Okay? I don't want you stuck there anymore. I don't want you to believe everything you think. Have you ever considered that notion about not believing everything you think? Because some of the stuff we think is really kind of, really? Did I just think that? Don't believe everything you think. Number 3, falling in love with your CSI. Now, that's not CSI Miami or CSI New York or whatever. CSI stands for crappy, stupid idea. Okay? Now, what I mean by that is one of the problems I see people do is they come up with an idea, don't ask anyone about it. Don't run it by their clients or their list or their clientele. Don't run it by anybody. Spend a lot of time and money on it. Launch it only to find they're the only ones in love with it. Not a good thing. Instead, ask, survey, and ask again. Ask your community. Ask people that fit your ideal client profile. Survey them. Find out what they want. Then deliver it to them as quickly as possible. All right, so we've done webinar mindset, and we've done webinar wisdom, and we've done 3 big mistakes and what to do instead. Now, let's talk about the power of product creation. When you master this, here's the things, just 4 of the things that it does for you. Awesome, Don. I see that you're here. Thank you, buddy. I will unmute you when it comes, when time comes. So it establishes your authority because you've taken your information and packaged it, which is a very cool thing to do. Now, here's one of the beautiful things about this. When you have a lineup of products, a funnel of products, whatever you want to call it, an ascension model of products people can choose from, you wind up with consistent, even daily profit. This weekend, I shared earlier in the chat that I spent on a church retreat with 350 6th graders. What an experience. And hanging around with the other adults, and my phone kept going ka-ching. And people that didn't know me well, what is that? That your ringtone? I said, yeah. Well, why is it ka-ching? Well, it's an order that just came in. What? You mean you're out here on a retreat and you're making money? Yeah. And I love the looks of like, tell me more. And once you do this for a while, folks, it's a rare day that money doesn't come in from somewhere. Okay? And it's very, very powerful and very, very doable. Okay? You get to make a difference in the lives of other people. That is a cool way to spend your day. You know? That's part of the joy of me getting up in the morning. I get to spend my day making a difference in the lives of other people who then go out and make a difference in the lives of a lot more people. You get to do the same. Okay? And it creates a great lifestyle. A couple of the most recent mentees that have come in the program, Jeff, I came in because I want your lifestyle. Because they know I get to do all these things and make a difference in the world. That's why you're here, I hope, as part of that dream. This is part of what you can get out of it. Okay? So, we have done webinar wisdom. We have done the mindset of product creation, the mistakes to do and what you do instead. And now, some of the good things to get out of it. So let me go find Don here in the list and see if I can unmute him through the magic of technology. All right, Don, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Don, can you hear me?
Oh.
I can hear some noise in your background. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like you're in the room, buddy.
All right.
All right. So, everybody say hi, Don. Let's have a little hi, Don, in the Q&A here.
Hi, everyone.
Warren, Wes, Michelle, Kim, Lynn, Sonny, Maureen, Dave, Jennifer, Ann. Oh, my goodness, you got a lot of fans here, Tracy. Part of the reason they're telling you hi, Don, is they're grateful to you because you're doing this and not them. So I applaud your guts right away. All right, so what we're going to do, let me give you a little background here. Don was one of my first students and mentees way back in the beginning, 07. And we kind of lost touch with each other, although he's been around. And I turned around in the middle of the last NAMS conference, and somebody was saying, I'd like to introduce myself. And I knew right away who it was. It was Don. We finally got to meet. So we got talking, and we got brainstorming, and on and on and on and on. And now he's in the high-level mentor program again and doing well. And so he was one of many people that volunteered to do this little demonstration with me. And I picked this one because, like I told you when we talked on the phone today, Don, this is not a sexy topic we're talking about, right? Which is a great example for us to do. So what I'm going to do is take this off of presentation mode and get us to this page, and we're going to start talking about what we got here. Okay? So, Don, tell everybody the topic that we're going to work on.
The topic we are going to work on is double your reading speed. I happen to obtain the URL doubleyourreadingspeed.com, so I went with that.
Now, wait a minute. When did you get that URL?
Oh, 6 months ago.
6 months ago, you were able to get doubleyourreadingspeed.com? Wow.
Correct.
So there's still good stuff out there. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
All right. So everybody in the chat, would you agree with me that, you know, increasing your reading speed, not the sexiest topic in the world, right? Right? Give me a yay or nay in the Q&A, folks. Yeah, everybody says right. Haha. I agree. I'm not making fun. I'm just saying this is a good one to play with. Now, you've already got pretty much an ebook created about this, right?
Correct. I have a 10-page teaser and an ebook.
Okay, cool. Now, that's fine and good, okay, to have an ebook. But now I want to show you something about ebooks, because most ebooks, you know, they go for like 37, 47 bucks. And let's say you wanted to make 10K a month. Now, divided by 47, you got to sell 213 of those babies a month. And the problem with that is if you got to bring in all that traffic to get that many sales, I'm really great at driving traffic, and I wouldn't want that challenge. Okay, so what we want to do is take this and, you know, do the ebook. Don, have it as an ebook, have it as a Kindle book. What I want to do with you is look at how to make it bigger, okay, and how to make it more. So let's see here. Where did that go? Insert. All right, we're going to put a little table in here. And we want it to be, let's make it just across just for kicks and giggles. All right, so what I want to do, one of the easiest ways, folks, to create a product is to take what you've got and divide it into modules of a teaching class, right? Of a webinar, of a series, of an online course. Okay, so when we talked on the phone, Don, you mentioned one of the things you mentioned, I think, was why increase your reading as part of your book, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that's a good thing to talk about, you know, is why do this? Okay, so here's an interesting way to look at this. I mean, there's another URL out there called doubleyourdating.com. Doubleyourdating.com. Now that's an exciting topic, but we're going to talk about doubling your reading. Why double your reading speed? Okay, so that's a good module right there. Okay. So what comes after you've told them why double it? What do you do next?
I have the People's Basic Approach to Reading.
Okay. So basically what most people do?
Correct.
Okay, so how most people read. All right. And so give us a couple of lines and ideas from there. I mean, how do most people read?
All right. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily how they read. It's about how they approach it and It's the conscious brain takes in 16 bits of information per second compared to our non-conscious brain that absorbs 11 million bits per second. And
Wow.
then I pose the question, can you imagine the difference? And it's about increasing your reading speed. So instead of sitting there and moving your lips while you're reading, you're using your subconscious brain, and it just opens up a whole new avenue.
See, folks, part of what I want you to catch there is, at least in my mind, we just went from boring to dang sexy, okay? Because if there's a way to go from 16 bits of information a second at one level of your brain to how many a second?
11 million bits.
11 million bits. I mean, I'd like just one thousandth of that 11 million bits increase, you know? So what's intriguing me now, Don, is that it's possible to do that. So that's good copy right there in the promo for this and the advertising for this. So what's the first step we're going to take? What's the first thing you're going to teach them?
Well, the first one is a short exercise, and it is, well, prior to that, reading is a move, stop, read, move, stop, read, and so on when your conscious brain is doing it. So
Okay.
with a short exercise, to develop effective eye movements, you look at the following sentences in a book or whatever you have in front of you, and you first focus your attention, and you look at only the first S in success. All right, this is what I happen to have in my book.
Okay.
And secondly, then you adjust your focus, attention, to look to be able to see the entire word success. Then third, you adjust your focus so you're now seeing 3 or more words at the same time. Now, because you can't say these 3 words at the same time, you can't sub-vocalize if you are reading along with, reading in your mind along with while you're actually reading, while your brain is working.
See, that's amazing, and I'm intrigued. And part of what you're doing, folks, part of what Don's doing here that's cool is there's a lot of hooks here in the beginning. Okay? Why do this? How most people read, the difference between conscious and subconscious. And now with this eye movement exercise, he's given people the opportunity to test this out, to experience it. And what it reminds me of, Don, tell me if this has any relation at all. You know how most people, when they're counting a lot of stuff, it's either 1, 2, 3, 4, or 2, 4, 6, 8, right?
Yep.
And I can't even remember what I had to count. But back in college, when I worked in the grocery store, for college, there was something I had to count a lot of, and I taught myself to count by threes. And so I still do that when I look at a bunch of something. I do 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and people just kind of look at me like, what? But it gets there quicker. And so I think that's an example of what you're talking about, is your brain can be taught to absorb in bigger chunks, right?
Correct. In fact, with numbers, you would probably bump it up to around 10 at a time, so you are on at least that base system.
Oh, come on, man. I thought I was doing good at 3. You want me all the way up at 10?
I'm just saying.
All right. I'm just saying. Yeah, thanks a lot. Okay. I'll shoot for 4 and then 10. Okay, so they do the eye movement exercises, and what's next?
Fixation. Let me see where we go. It's like training your brain. It's paying attention, and then you want to reduce the fixation time in order to basically loosen your brain and get it ready for speed reading. And
Okay, so you got some brain training to do, right?
you do have the brain training, and it's just consciously knowing the difference between your conscious brain and your subconscious brain, and then the way you look at a page or a bunch of words. And are you going to look at it as just one word from now on? You're going to look at it as a bunch. Once you get really good at it, you can do a sentence at a time, some even up to a paragraph at a time, and you can just picture yourself doing that. But at first, you have to reduce the fixation time that you use currently for reading. And then after that, I go into comprehension and so on. But the next step there is reducing skipbacks. which means don't reread the same phrases from the text. So you reduce.
wow.
Yes, you don't reread. You just look at it. There's ways to do it, and I'm going to, quick go off where you read first, you skim through everything. In fact, let me go through the 5 types of reading. I got the 5 types of reading are skimming, which you just skim in and you're getting an idea of what you're looking at. Then I got information on how to skim, why you should skim, so on. Then there's scanning. When you're looking, say for instance, a car service phone number in the telephone book, if anyone even still has one. You don't read every listing, do you? You skip ahead and you go get rid of all the unrelated information and go right to that section. So yeah, skipping, scanning. Then you have light reading, which is reading for leisure. Obviously tends to be more light. You're not worried about memorizing it for the test the next morning and freaking out. It may actually a lot easier when you do that. Then you have word-by-word reading, and then reading to study. And there's a method that helps in here that helps you study. And just
Okay, see, that's awesome, because those would go under Module 2 here, how most people read. This is Module 1, Module 2, Module 3, Module 4, Module 5. Here would be really a pre-module of where to get started and what to do next. Okay, so that's a wealth of information underneath here. Okay, so types of reading. I didn't even know there were types, so this is cool. I mean, I'm one of those people that like to read, and I listen to people that say, I haven't read a book since I graduated high school, and I don't get that, but okay. So what this is really cool for is it shows that underneath each one of these headings, folks, are lots of content, lots of deliverability that Don has. And like I invited you at the beginning of the webinar, do this on your own. Start breaking your knowledge or an idea you have down into these things. Now, later on, Don, before we launch this thing, we'll fine tune it and do some different things. So part of this is for teaching purposes, or get ready, Tracy, teaching purposes. What I would suggest putting right here is your first bonus. Okay.
Okay.
So you mentioned earlier that what you might have in there is a way for people to get involved in affiliate marketing if they're interested in reading and doing things quick, because you're working with a lot of veterans, and I just gave you a very big hint about something, folks. And to have them have a way of income to do affiliate marketing. So like one bonus could be, a bonus on affiliate marketing, huh?
Okay, I see. Now, you're saying you don't have to limit yourself, obviously, to the same subject.
Right. Yeah, it could be about anything. I mean, because what you're doing is you've got 2 different areas you're playing in, affiliate marketing and in this, and working with veterans. I mean, get somebody excited about increasing their reading. They're going to want to do more, learn quicker, and now you've got a way for them to make income with that new knowledge they've got, that new skill they've got. Okay. Now, this is just a suggestion, and we can bounce it around later on. What I would suggest for bonus 2 is, what should we call this? Let's make up a name.
You want me to tell you what I already have?
Tell me.
I have a time management ebook that is a bonus for or along with this product, and I thought the time management really fit well, because if you're looking to save time by speeding up your reading and comprehending faster, you would be interested in time management also.
Nice link. I like that. And then I'm going to suggest that you do some kind of speed reading chat with folks. You and each person chatting on the phone about how they're progressing, what they want to work on. It's a great way to serve your folks at the highest level, help them out, and some of those people are going to want to do more with you. Okay, and we can talk about that later. So there's 3 bonuses, 5 modules or pre-module. What else would go under brain training, Don? just for demonstration purposes here. What else goes under there?
Let me look and see if I combined it with anything.
Okay. Part of what we're doing here, folks, is taking something that's created in a certain form, and we're taking it and looking at it and making it more. Mary Jo, I don't know if you're on this webinar or not, but Mary Jo, one of my students, did a webinar and had a product, and really the webinar should have been 3 webinars and the product 3 or 4 products, and we split that out. So she went from one product to a whole arsenal, a whole funnel, a whole ascension model, just from a conversation. So part of what we're doing here is expanding what Don's got. So did I tap dance long enough for you to find it, my friend?
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Thank you. I have to do that a lot.
As far as brain training, I got a couple of different chapters. And the way I broke it up is drastically change your reading speed. So when you're ready to move ahead, that's what you have to look at. Then tips to effectively boost your speed. So they kind of go together. I put them in 2 separate chapters.
Okay.
And then one of them, the next one then, is reading thoughts aloud in the human mind. And it's all brings it back to just letting your brain realize to, let go and relax while you're reading, and you'll be amazed at how much faster and how much faster you can read and how much better you can comprehend.
Awesome. Now, let me just ask a question to the group here, because we teased about how speed reading is not the sexiest topic in the world. How many of you have developed a bit more interest in the concept of speed reading just from listening to this conversation? There's Warren, Wes, heavy on the W's today. Chella, her interest went from 0 to 65. Roxanne, Kim, Lynn. So look at all these potential clients you have here, folks, just from this conversation. Now, what I want you to see here, folks, is there's more to do here, okay? Because we're going to fill out, as Don and I work together later, what else will go in here. And Don knows a little bit of the method to my madness here. That's pretty good, David. Makes me think it's a good job. And so what he doesn't know is some of the other methods, because what are you planning on charging for that ebook?
It was in the $37, $39 range.
Okay. Yeah. What we just built out here, I would suggest starting it at $97 as a course, and eventually raising it to $197, $297. And I want to show you the difference that does for you. Okay. So we needed 213 at 47. You said 37. We only do that math. Make that 10K a month. Now, at 97, that brings it down to 103 units sold. Still a lot, but much more doable than 213. Let's say we get this up to 197. Through the numbers, 45. If I remember correctly. Okay, 50. What's it? 51, really. Now that's a manageable world, okay? Especially as you get out there and do this for other people, and show them what can be done. And so you're getting to that 10K mark really quickly. Here's Tracy telling us parents of high school students would easily pay $197 or even $297 for this program. Bravo, Tracy, because I had not thought about that market. But parents of any students, middle, high school, college, what a great market for you, Donald.
Right.
And then whatever would come on the back end of this. So let's just brainstorm a little bit. After they take this course, what else would they need? One thing that comes to mind is study skills.
Okay.
That makes sense?
If you're focusing on the students, both high school and college.
Yeah. Study skills for students. Now, you're also going to have adults, career
advancement.
Yeah, advancement. for adults. I'm not worried about spelling here, folks. Oh, thank you, autocorrect. It's career advancement for adults. Okay. Now, that may not be something you're into, but you could find somebody that is, right? And now you've got a JV, a partnership. Kim's saying, whoever's going back to school would be interested in learning the reading to study. There you go. And so one of the things I want everybody to get is that you can look at what you've done and then what's next. Okay? That is a huge question to always ask. Now, I know some of you are thinking, I just want to get my first product done, Jeff. What do you mean, what's next? Okay, let's get your first product done. Get in the course here in a little bit when I offer it. And then we're going to start talking about, okay, what's next? What do you follow that up with? What else do they need? That's always the question to be asking, because that's how you make income every day and turn this from a hobby into a business. So, and you know, who knows where this could take you, Don? You could wind up doing mentorships with people that want to learn better, masterminds with people that want to learn better. There's all kind of ways to expand your learning and that kind of stuff. And you just thought you had a little $37 ebook, pal.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, how many of you are looking at this and saying, well, you know, Jeff, maybe this is doable? Give me a yay or nay in the Q&A. Yes, 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 yes. West Barb, Warren, yep. Yeah. Now, in all honesty, how many? Oh, there's a perhaps from B. I like that honesty, B. How many of you are even further along that direction than B? There's Ann, maybe, who's saying, yeah, well, I can see it here with your help, Jeff, and it's live and stuff, but I don't know if I can do it. How many of you say, I don't know if I can do it? All right, we got some takers there saying, please don't use my name, but I'll start saying, yeah, you can. Okay, cool. Dave's still skeptical. All right, awesome, Dave, I love it. Okay, now, all of us have excuses that we disguise as reasons why we can't do something. Okay, it's just part of human nature. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about Don. I've got his permission to do this. Don is a Marine, and due to an injury, Don is in a wheelchair. Okay, and has been for as long as I've known him. Got to meet him in person earlier this month, and I noticed something about Don. Don, to type, what do you have to do to type?
Well, I'm able to use one, not necessarily in my hand because I have no wrist or finger function. So I use a brace. It's actually a bowling brace that goes on my hand to keep my wrist straight. And then on that brace, I have attached to it a little contraption. And at the end of it are little, if you can picture a kitchen door cabinet, the one that keeps the door cabinet closed.
Right.
So the two little knobs that hold that, you know, the object closed. Then I use either an a pencil upside down type of eraser, or I use a dowel, wooden dowel, and an eraser on the end of it. And through Microsoft, they have the certain program that allows you to type with one hand, so you can lock the shift key, the control key, the alt key. So between the two of those, the brace, and that, and then that program, I've actually been clocked at 22 words a minute.
Are you kidding me?
No, that's
22 words a minute. That's incredible. You don't want to be nice to. Yeah, what? I just got it.
You were breaking
on a replay. It's been about as fast. Let's see. He says super Marine. Yeah, we're breaking up. We're gonna have to talk through it. Maria saying thank you for your service, Don. RJ saying this is the first time I thought I might be able to make more out of my best-selling book. I've been selling for 9 years. Absolutely. All those chapters or modules, RJ. On the retreat, the mental retreat, this weekend, the woman who was speaking to the group, who's been the basketball coach at University of Miami. He's the chaplain for the Atlanta Dream Women's NBA team. Who's just starting stuff out. You gotta go back and you should see the look on her face when talking about what you can do and then the difference there. So what I want you to see is what RJ's seeing, what you can do with this, how far you can take it, and how someone with challenges like Don is not letting that get in his way. So, sir, I appreciate you. Thank you for having the stones to come on here and put this out in front of everybody. And I'm telling you, man, we're going to take this and build a world around it, okay?
That sounds good. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Jeff, and thank everyone for their well wishes.
Sure. Now, I have a question for you. While everybody's thinking on and saying thank you, and when I send up the replay, I'll send you a picture. I just got that for this. Now, I'm going to I'm trying to get on a rant. I am going to get shut up about this, okay? Because we all have things we put in our way, okay? We all have things that we believe are our stories and our excuses and our reasons, okay? But you just heard from a guy sitting there, okay, for the rest of his life, typing one letter at a time, and he's creating product. Is that happening to people? So, here's what I'm going to ask. What the hell is your excuse? My whole thing about what to do with people is to destroy your excuses, destroy your reasons why you can't use them. Okay? And so that's one of the reasons I had on is to show you that what you can do no matter what. When you got no matter what attitude. Okay? Sure, some of us have jobs, challenges, this kind of stuff. I'm not suggesting this stuff. I do it on a daily basis, especially a couple of years ago. You still do what you got to do. So my challenge to you is use Don as inspiration, okay? And say, well, he's doing it, I need to do it, okay? And so really grateful to Don for hanging out with us on this show. Now, with that said, I want you to notice something here. We took a simple ebook, divided it into 5 modules. Now, there'll be a pre-module about where to get started and what to do next, 3 bonuses, and took a $37 product all the way to a $197 product, okay? Again, Don is in the situation he's in and making it work. My question to all of us is, what's our excuse? We really don't have one, right? Now, I left some other screens open to just in case we needed more room, but we don't. So now, here's something you've heard me say a lot of times. Okay? I want you to hear it with new ears and new hearts after the experience you just had, because there's more people out there waiting to hear your message who can only hear it from you than you could ever get to in your lifetime, okay? Part of what lights me up, part of my purpose on the planet is to help people get their message out there. I didn't expect to have a conversation with somebody this weekend on a retreat about it, but I did. It's just the way it goes, okay? Now, what you just saw me do with Don is something I do with all my mentees and also do with people that have the product creation course. We get on the phone and we take what they've got and start building it out. That's one of the bonuses for the course, the Profitable Product Creation course. That's worth way, 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 way times multiple more than your investment. Plus you get the whole course, okay? There are more people out there waiting to hear your message who can only hear it from you than you ever get to in your lifetime, folks. Everyone knows that you got to have products and resources to make it, right? And most of you get too scared to do it for a variety of reasons. Don's doing it, okay? Now, a lot of people have told you it's too hard, it's too complicated, etc. Okay? But what if What if you can take that information from Don? Don's going, thanks, Don. You just called the phone sessions Jeff in a box. I love it. Okay, what if there's a way to take away the fear, the guesswork, motivate you, as Don has, and create these best-selling products that your folks are going to love and will rush to invest? Okay, would you be interested in something like that? Because what I want to walk you through is the course that's all about this. Okay, now, does any of this look familiar, what we just did? The Get Started Here pre-module. So you'll know exactly where to get started and exactly what to do next. And so I broke it into modules. Finding out what they want, finding out the best way to give them what they want. What's your transformation process? Don has a transformation process. We just broke some of the steps into to teach people how to speed read. Everybody has a transformation process they take people through. Here we identify it and spell it out so you can benefit from it and profit from it. And then creating your best-selling product. In the bonuses, we'll build out your product funnel or your ascension model. Okay, here's the product consult where we're on the phone doing what Don and I just did. Now that took 10 minutes, what Don and I did. Imagine what we could accomplish in an hour. Okay, and then bonus number 3, you get my product creation vault, which is everything I've ever written about product creation and all the videos I've done around it. Okay, so a wealth of information. Okay, so let's break this down. I like to do this in every one of my courses. I want you to know exactly where to get started, exactly what to do next. And there's videos on identifying the needs of your prospects and your own unique gifts and abilities. Module number 1, how to enter into the conversation already going on in the mind of your prospect. Discovery strategies. This came from somebody when asked a question before a teleseminar about what's their biggest question. I don't have any questions right now. You seem to answer mine before I even ask them. How can I do that? Because I'm always asking those questions. What's your biggest question? In module 2, discovering your product sweet spot. This is huge, folks. I built an entire very, very high-level business around that right there. Leveraging your product sweet spot and different delivery strategies. Module 3, discovering your unique transformation process, even if you didn't know you had one. Going from that process to a product and how to deliver your information. And then creating your best-selling product. Do you do it in text, audio, video, graphics, some combination? We're going to go into different product delivery systems from free to not free. And I can change this because we're in the background here and it's just us, right? No, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Change that little mistake right there. All right. And on the importance of bonuses, you saw Don offer some out of them. We'll do the same. And then in the bonuses, how to build out a series of products that answer questions, what's next? What do the people need next? Then we have that call where we spend an hour doing what Don and I did for 10 minutes. And then you've got access to the vault. Okay? So just to review, get started here module. What do they want? Give them what they want, your transformation process, your best-selling product, bonus is your product funnel, product consult with me, and the vault. Okay. There is the link, folks, profitableproductcreation.com. Get started today. Let yourself be inspired by Don. At that link, Profitable Product Creation. You got 2 days coming on board. You can do it for 3 investments of only $77. One now, one a month, one later. It'll be well on your way by then. Or you can save $34 and do one investment of only $197. No, I'm typing that link into checkbox. Profitable Product Creation. Really important time to spell out. That way you won't have to go to your browser. You just click on the link, Profitable Product Creation, right? I just said it. Would love it if you all go over there, click on it, just to let me know that it's working. Okay? So how many of you, just give me a yay or nay in the Q&A, how many of you were inspired by Don? in what he's doing? Yes, in a big way, says RJ. Absolutely, says Kim. Mark B, yes. How could you not be, says Warren. Exactly. Joe, Barb, and Dave, definitely. Yes, 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 me. Okay? Listen, and Don's giving me permission to talk like this. If he's doing it, what's your excuse? Alistair says, a great man. Yeah, he is. And I am honored to know him personally. If he can do that, what's your excuse, folks? Come on. You've got something inside of you that can make a difference in the lives of people on this planet. That's why you're here. Let's pull it out and package it in a way that other people will invest in, and you'll help people, they'll profit, you'll profit, and it makes for a pretty good way to do your day. So there's the link, profitableproductcreation.com. 3 investments of only $77. One now, one in a month, another in a month. Or you can save $34 right now and do one investment of only $197. David's saying, thank him for serving. I have and I will, and so did you. So thank you. Now, let's see. A lot of excited people here. When does the training start, Jeff? It starts right away. This is something we just recorded recently, live with a group of people, and it's there waiting for you. There is one module still to go, or a bonus module. I still got to get it in there for everybody. That's how fresh this is. So you'll get that bonus module about Ascension models live next week, I think. But you start right away. It's all there for you to consume. My strong recommendation, everyone, is that you jump in and do the Get Started Here module first. Please, please, please don't come in thinking you're too smart for the room. Deadly mistake. Okay? That's why I continue to go to beginning level things when I go to different workshops, because I always pick up something that I can use. And you will learn more that way, and you'll be more successful that way. So, consume the Get Started Here module, and then dive in. If you're totally stuck, if product creation scares you, great, good, you know that. The definition of courage is not having no fear. Having no fear is crazy, okay? The definition of courage is feeling the fear and do it anyway. I want you to have the courage to get your message out there, package it in a way that you can profit from and live your dreams, which is why you're on this webinar in the first place, boys and girls. Let's see, what other questions do we have here? The tech side scares me, says Barbara. Thank you for your honesty. Yeah, Barbara, I'm not a tech person. Tracy, my tech person who is recording everything for me, knows that, right, Tracy? It's good to have those people in your lives. Barbara, all I know how to do is I know what buttons to push, what order to push them in order to help people and make money. That's what I'll teach you, okay? You don't have to know all the technical stuff. Kim, is this like a home study where we do this on our own, or will we be able to get feedback? A little bit of both, Kim. I mean, everything's recorded there for you. What we have, though, is that hour consult. Okay, now, everybody that takes action and jumps on board while we're on this webinar, you'll get a little bit more than an hour. And so that's the time where you get feedback and you get hands-on, me on the phone with you help. That's one level where you're not on your own. The second level where you're not on your own, Kim and everyone else, is in the members area, where you have a place to ask questions and get answers at 3 different levels, from me, from my team, and from others that are in the program. So you build a community, and a lot of what happens is what just happened with Don, okay? As he's talking about his stuff, people got interested in it. Some of you will want to go buy the course. It's not even created yet. Same thing happens in there. So it is, a lot of it you consume on your own, but then you can ask questions, get those answered, and then we got that time. Barbara, I know enough technical stuff. He's asking where do you find tech help to answer most of your questions or to direct you in the right way. The beautiful thing right now is you can get a lot of stuff done quickly for $5 at a time over at Fiverr, and I can direct you to places too. Michelle, product creation doesn't scare me, but I start doing a novel and can't quite cut to the important parts. Well, Michelle, let me tell you a story. I worked with a client years ago, a successful businesswoman, and she had gone through a rigorous interview process for a position she wanted. And the next to last interview, no, the last interview, is she had to give a presentation sitting down at the end of a table. And she was losing her mind because she was wed to the idea that she could not present sitting down, that she had to stand up to present. And she just was convinced she wasn't going to get the job. And this is the idea I gave her. And we worked on it, and she ended up getting the job. Okay. And so I said, well, listen, all standing is sitting on your feet, and all sitting is standing on your butt. Okay. Silly thing, right? But it worked, and it shook out that little block. All you've got is this. I mean, you can create products and you can write. You could tell yourself that, you know, this book is either completely every sentence an important part, or this book has no important parts whatsoever. So just write it and it'll be fine. Okay? There's lots of ways around that. Michelle, thank you for sharing that. We all got those things that we hang up on. But there's the good news is there's tons of ways around it. So listen, what I invite you to do is jump on profitable product creation, profitableproductcreation.com. It's there, clickable in the chat box. And, you know, just look at what we did with Don. We're going to do even more with you. 3 investments of only $77, or 1 investment of only $197, and save you $34. Okay. Now, what I will do is in the replay, I will get a picture of Don for you up there, waving at you. And I was going to do it for the webinar, but just ran out of time and forgot about it. My bad. And again, thanks to Don, who I think is still on, for having the stones to come on and put that stuff out there, not really knowing where I was going to take it. Thank you for that trust. And folks, you know, let's get together. Welcome to Bob and Jenny and Kathy and Larry and all the other folks that have come on board. Can't wait to get started with you. Can't wait to have those product creation conversations. Kim, and of course, Jeff, if someone is doing videos, do you show them where they can host them and how to do it? Yeah, sure. It's Kim, it's so much easier than it ever was. And really, seriously, if I can do it, you know what, you can too. Right, Tracy? Anyway, congratulations to everybody that's already on board. Here's the extras you get when you come on board during the show. So everybody that's already on board is grand. The rest of you, this may be the tipping point for you. We're going to do an extended strategy session. And what I recommend to you is, if I'm going to extend it from maybe an hour to maybe even an hour and a half, do 45 minutes and go do some of the stuff we talk about, and then come back later. We'll do the next one. Okay? So you're not being tossed out into the dark. You've got a members area to work in. You've got me to talk to on the phone, and we'll take care of you, because my whole thing is getting people's messages out there. All right? So we are now in the home stretch. So again, thanks to Don. Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks to y'all for hanging out with us for this hour and invest in your most valuable resource, which is your time. And I invite you to invest another valuable resource and go get this stuff at profitableproductcreation.com. Choose your investment plan. 3 payments of only $77 or just 1 of $197. And Maureen's saying thanks, Jeff and Don. So is RJ. You guys are welcome. And save yourself $34 with the 1 investment. Can't wait to work with you. Thank you for being part of this community. And Don, thank you very much.